welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we're going to talk about a job fair / career fair that has a little bit of a different twist. My guest is the organizer, Chekesha White. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
So you are an assistant principal in Hampton City Schools.
Yes, ma'am.
And have been for a little while.
Yes.
And you saw a need for a job and career fair, but not for your students.
Right, that is correct. That is correct.
Students.
No. So yeah, basically, I just noticed being an educator first. This is my 17th year in education.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I just run into a lot of my former students when I was in the classroom, and when I'm asking them questions about, what are they doing with themselves? They don't have the right answers, and it's kind of like, oh, nothing, or just working at McDonald's, and so I wanted to put together something that could speak to that crowd that's already out of high school.
Right, because you said when you're in high school, the school has fairs, there's all kinds of things, guidance counselors and people helping kids get ready for that next step, whatever it is, whether it's military,
Right.
workforce directly, or education.
Right, yeah.
So kids get lost,
Yeah.
like the goal maybe is to get through high school or to get the GED or whatever it is, and they do, but they don't always plan for what comes next.
Exactly. And so this conference will help to speak to what is next for you. Is it a career? Is it a vocation? Or is it going back to college and taking some classes at Thomas Nelson? So it's, again, just to let students in that 18 to 30 age bracket know what is out there for them.
Or, they may have thought they had an idea and it didn't work out. Maybe they tried to go to college, they ran out of funds or realized they were in the wrong program.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of kids who bounce back now.
Sure.
So you're going to have some workshops to help them figure their way out. What will those be?
So we have one on financial literacy. So what does...
That's important.
Right, right. What does, how we manage money? How do we, take care of it? If we have credit cards, what does that management look like? We have a workshop on careers in STEM. So there's a doctor coming, and she's talking about what it means or what are some of the barriers to being in a STEM career. And
now let's talk what STEM is for people who aren't familiar
science,
with the term.
technology, engineering, and math.
And I think when people think about it, they think of the big careers, like the super,
Sure.
master's, PhD, super high-tech careers, but there's a lot of math and
Sure.
high-tech things that don't require a bachelor's, maybe.
Right. And so she's going to speak to that, like what are the different careers in STEM, particularly she is a scientist, so she will probably stick to the science piece, but exactly what does that look like and how do you begin and what are some of those barriers and myths that people have about STEM careers?
And traditionally, the old way of thinking of STEM careers was they were kind of the white males, and minorities and women weren't always encouraged.
Exactly.
And so some of these kids may have a passion that they haven't ever explored.
Exactly, and she will basically show, because she is African American, she is a female, and so you can make it happen. And so she's definitely going to talk about her path and how she did it, and now she has her PhD. So.
Okay, and?
Oh, okay, so that's the STEM. We have leadership in the workplace. So what does it mean to not just stay where you are, but move up in your organization or with your employer?
Because there are kids, there are people who are in fast food or entertainment industry, and there's management tracks.
Sure.
But you have to ask, you have to know.
That's right, you have to seek it. And so this presentation will speak to that. How do you move up? What does it mean to have goals and set them for your job? And so that's what that workshop is about. And then there's a workshop for interview skills, resume writing. What does that look like? Why is it important what you post on social media? Why does that matter to your employer?
That's a big one.
It is.
It really is.
Because in this day and age, there's so many,
I go check whenever I'm hiring. I look and see what is out there on that person. I mean, you want them to have a social media presence. I do, because that's
positive
my
presence.
Marketing job.
Right.
But yes.
A positive one. Not being mindful of what you say, pictures you post, and so that means it makes a difference. So.
Okay, so workshops will be a part of the picture, but you're also going to have folks there that they can
Exhibitors.
talk to.
Yes, we have some exhibitors, Bryan and Stratton, ITT, Centura, Everest, ECPI, Hampton Fire, Hampton Police. We have Thomas Nelson. So just, it's a small scale, but again, it's just
But again, it's kind of that starter thing. You don't
Right.
necessarily, a lot of these people wouldn't be ready to do a 4-year college program, but they could test out the programs at Thomas Nelson if
Right.
they're thinking of going on, and they could get that associate's, or they could get the early courses they need, or they could look more at the workforce kind of training, or the
Sure.
technical training at some of these colleges.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think sometimes kids don't know where to start, or they're just in a holding pattern and they aren't ready to, they don't know how to break out, they don't have the understanding, the desire, the need.
Right, yeah, I think that is important. And, once, like you said, once they graduate, they've kind of like lost their way. So this is just that door to say, here is that way, choose whichever path it is that you desire to go on. And here's some tools you need to get there. So
Yeah, and some kids, may have had life-interrupting kind of things. They
Exactly.
may have kids. They, you get into a path where you are supporting your child, but you haven't really made a career decision, or you could stop and rethink.
Sure.
Or, okay, so you call this focus.
Find
Refocus. I mean, I
Right.
think it's, find your
true.
focus.
Yeah, and it actually, I'm all about mnemonics. So focus stands for finding out college and career pathways while understanding what it takes to be successful in life. So I know it's a lot, but
It's a long one, Chekesha. I'm not going to remember that. I'm going to just call it focus.
okay, yeah.
But it has 2 C's, so
Right,
that throws
that's
me
right.
a little bit. Okay, we haven't told people when and where.
Okay, so it is on September 19th from 1 to 5 at the Performing Arts and Creative Center on Butler Farm Road, 300 Butler Farm Road. And you can register, individuals can register on Eventbrite, or they can call the actual center.
Okay, and we do have that on hampton.gov. If you go to the calendar, hampton.gov/events.
Yes, it is there.
Can search and find it.
It is there.
Or call 311 if they need more information.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds great. You're hoping that this will be an annual event, right?
Yes, I am. And we're, like I said, we're just starting off small. So we wanted 75 participants to come out, and then maybe next year we'll double it again. Just starting small, just to let students in that age bracket, 18 to 30, know what's out there for them.
That's great. And I'm going to put in a plug for police and fire, since they're going to be out there recruiting.
Sure.
A lot of people don't think of that as a career, or aren't ready when they're 18 or when they first graduate. But, they give you all the training that you need
Sure.
if you can pass the physical fitness and the background qualifications, and think again about those women and minorities, because sometimes they're underrepresented and people just don't think of it as a career. And there's wonderful career paths in both of those. So
They are.
I hope they come out with a lot of new recruits.
Yes, me too. I hope so. So, and I'm telling people to come. If you put this on there, bring your resume, bring that, bring what represents you, and so be ready. Come dressed ready, because you just never know.
Dressing ready is part of the thing too.
It is.
I think people don't always know how to prepare for an interview or a potential interview.
Right.
How to look your best.
Right.
How to have the materials that you need.
Right. And that one workshop will speak to that, because she's going over exactly what it takes from applying to attaining the job. So she'll walk through the whole process. And so, I encourage them to dress for success for that day. But again, if they don't
It's good
have
practice,
that,
if
it is. And if they don't have it, I'm not saying
and that
don't
doesn't
come.
mean
But
a suit. You don't have to wear a three-piece suit.
Right.
You just have to be not baggy, neat and clean,
presentable.
not a short skirt.
Exactly.
Think about, you're not going to a party, you're not going to the disco,
Right.
you're going out.
Right.
Disco, what an old
Right.
term. Shows my age. Not going to the club,
Sure.
that's the term. Chekesha, thank you so much, and thank
You're
you for
welcome.
organizing this. I think
No,
it's
no
going to be,
problem.
a wonderful thing. I hope you get more than 75.
Thank you.
Now, let me ask, if people don't pre-register, because these are not our planners.
Sure.
this age group, can they still show up?
Yes, they can. Yes,
Okay.
they can. We'll definitely
You just want to
accept
make sure
them.
you're prepared for enough people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Chekesha.
I appreciate you so much.
And thank you for watching. If you know of someone in this age group who maybe is ready to focus on college and careers, please tell them about this event and help them get there. Thanks for watching.